afterwards if we want to make this podcast friendly.
Yeah. This will be podcast friendly.
Hello, Ghost fans. Another exciting week of Ghost in the Scene. Mark.
That's right. I'm Gio.
And I am Rob.
Thomas.
That's right.
We're talking about ghosts tonight. It's Wednesday night.
That's right. About ghosts. This is a timeless podcast. A timeless. So it doesn't matter what day it is.
Even if it is Tuesday when you're listening to this, that will work in this situation.
Because ghosts don't go away. They don't take weekends off. 7 days a week. 365.
Speaking of 365, something is happening every single day of the year. And it is the corruption and the abuse of the eyes of America. Okay? And it's happening from one single place. I think we all know what I'm talking about. Hollyweed. If you remember the protester who covered the O's and they made it Hollyweed, that was pretty hilarious. Pretty good joke to play.
That was cutting stuff.
But I think people really missed the deeper message that he was getting at, and that message is that, Hollyweed
is very close to Hollyweird.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like if only they had instead of the O, they had an I in there somewhere, that they could have made Hollyweird, because it truly is a cesspool, a weird place. I just want to quickly talk about, because we've been going at this for a whole year. We've encountered some monsters along the way. We have dealt with demons. We've dealt with ghosts, poltergeists, vampires, wolfmen, wolfmen, werewolves,
interdimensional demons,
the god of the sun,
vampires who get right in the middle of the DVD hole. Just get right.
They stick themselves.
Werewolves that try to get through the same hole,
which I believe they can and they do, but some people
cannot.
are non-believers.
Doesn't work.
We've done all of the research. We have encountered plenty of people worth talking about, and we've talked about them ad nauseum. And today is kind of more of a compilation. It's kind of to get everyone up to speed as to who is on our list. Okay, the list that I'm talking about is the 3 most haunted actors working today in Hollywood.
Because there are other ones.
There's plenty.
There's plenty, but this is probably the cream of the crop, the salt on the potato, if you will, of the haunted actors in Hollywood.
Mm-hmm. And this is a big.
I think we can really assume that there's some sort of ghostly activity happening in most of Hollywood, and there's most people that you would find, like, there isn't really anyone that isn't affected by a ghost. But these are the ones we really have to look out for, because these are just black holes of paranormal activity going on.
Exactly. So I want to start off my list because this is somebody that I have a very close relationship with. And I don't mean close in the sense that, like, I know him or like we talk or anything, but I will say that we have the same birthday.
The same birthday.
This is something
does that mean you're a ghost?
No. And this is something that I also want to stress. These men, I do not believe are ghosts. Okay? I believe they are haunted by ghosts. Okay? That's a very clear and perfect distinction that I want to start off right here. So, the person that I share my birthday with.
And that means, by the way, that it means that this person and Gio share a cosmic connection. There is an overlap of planetary movements and spiritual connections that connect them too. So Gio has really been a lightning rod, and I've really been shocked, and I've really felt blessed to be in his presence to talk about this, because it is really shocking of what sort of spirits he draws through this.
It's true. This man here that's right next to me, his name is Johnny Depp, and I've talked about him probably about. So I'm 26, more than half of my life, 18 years of my life. I've been talking about this guy. I wrote his name in my diary. Okay? This man is haunted. He is a vampire. That's fact. We've proven that time and time again. He goes out in public. He wears sunscreen, SPF 1,000,000, and he
It's
is
a large SPF.
yes, and he is, in fact, a vampire. Now, even though he's a vampire, I believe he is haunted by ghosts. What do you guys do? You agree? Do you disagree? What do you think?
Well, vampires often hide in large castles that often have other spooky creatures, such as ghosts, ghouls.
Very
Dracula's
true.
castles. They
Yes.
never showed it in the original films, but there was probably some ghosts.
Yeah,
I'd be
I
willing to
believe
bet.
there are definitely ghosts around him. He definitely draws ghosts, but to say he's haunted, I don't know. That's like a completely other level. You know, vampires are the undead. Like, how can you be haunted by a spirit if you don't have one yourself?
Well,
Okay.
it's kind of like I would compare it. A ghost for a human is kind of like a hornet because it stings. It's really, really scary. But for a vampire, it's more like a fly. It's kind of like, get these ghosts away from me. I'm in Transylvania, and it's
Exactly.
or to kind of describe it.
It's a perfect
Um,
metaphor, Mark.
Hornets are to ghosts for people, you and me. Vampire
Yes.
ghosts are to vampires.
Yes.
Hornets, Dracula. You guys get it.
It's
It's like classic metaphor.
It's E equals MC squared, just in a different form. Okay. It's on the other side of the equation. It's MC squared equals E. Okay. So what we're saying is, and I'm going to try to explain it to people that don't understand, Rob. You can have no soul and still be bothered by something that is a ghost. And I'll explain it to you in another metaphor that's probably not as clear as Mark's, but I'll try to do my best. If you are undead, you have more in common with the dead, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you're not alive, but you're not dead. But you're not alive, so you have more in common with people that are dead.
Mhm.
So it's like your cousin or your best friend. Who's going to be more important to you in the long run? Is it your cousin or is it your best friend?
Yeah. I mean,
And that's
Well,
what Johnny Depp, for me,
I
Johnny
hear
Depp
what you're
is
saying. I hear
my
what you're
cousin and he's
saying,
my
guys,
best
but
friend.
I don't know if the math really works out on that because I agree. We all know the E equals MC squared, but if you use the hammer principle as the two units become exponentially closer in the equation, you realize, according to the MC, you know, from the hammer principle, that as they get closer, that you can't touch this.
yeah, but Rob, you're making this way more
And as
complicated.
you have these two
It's too
competing
complicated.
spirits
Yeah.
that are going against each
Yeah.
other, and they just can't touch it.
You know what, Rob?
And-
apply it for your
let's-
Nobel Prize piece some
Yeah.
other day with some other podcast.
Like,
'cause-
I'll just put it simply. It's like the old lady who lived in the shoe. She's got a bunch
Thank
of kids in the shoe. Johnny Depp's in the shoe. He's a vampire. There's lots of ghosts.
There's lots of ghosts in this shoe. Rob.
That's
Okay.
it. Case closed. It's
I,
just like that.
I didn't really think of it in those terms, so okay, thank you.
So now that you understand, now that you're brought up to speed, that it's possible that a vampire can be haunted by a ghost, and I wasn't going to bring out my kryptonite, which is what we talked about earlier. I don't understand why you didn't remember the movie Van Helsing. It's all about how Dracula is haunted by the fact that he can only be killed by a werewolf. Van Helsing is that werewolf in the movie, but he's haunted nonetheless by something. In this
Ghosts.
in this reality, not in the movie reality, it's ghosts. In the movie, it was a movie werewolf. Okay,
Was Johnny Depp in Van Helsing?
they wanted to get Johnny Depp to play Van Helsing, but Hugh Jackman had a smear campaign, and he smeared him up and down Hollywood Boulevard. And guess what? He got axed the next day. So because of that, we got gypped out of the experience of a lifetime to see Johnny Depp play the most iconic role ever, Van Helsing. But I feel like it's better because maybe Johnny Depp even turned it down for a better reason because he knows he's a vampire.
Exactly.
You
He's better in that.
You can't play a vampire hunter if you're a vampire.
He played that vampire already. I forget.
You're right. I think that's really interesting. And your disparaging remark against gypsies aside, Gio, I think that the fact that Hugh Jackman taking over that role from an actual vampire speaks a lot. And maybe there are more people on to Johnny Depp than we may believe. Maybe not everyone's under his spell.
Well, and I believe that's us. I as much as I admire the man, I know that he is an undead beast, and that if I ever see him, I have to run away. Because you can't play with vampires, and you can't play with vampires, especially when they're being haunted by ghosts. I just have a quick video that I wanted to showcase for you guys because I feel like it really does, I guess, me a disservice without showing you, because this shows you in pictures what I can only tell you in words. And a picture is worth 1,000 words. This is a video, so it's probably worth all the money in the Fed, in the banks. Those fat cats. So I'm going to show you something real quick. This is a Johnny Depp haunted video.
What was that light?
Okay, so you see what he's doing here? Oh my god.
For our listeners at home, we are seeing Johnny Depp in strange colors. A montage, it appears.
Oh my god. Are you okay? Oh no. Just hold on. There's something I want to show you later. Right here. Right there. Right there.
All those people.
Oh god. Okay.
No!
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm stopping it. I'm sorry. Rob, are you okay? Rob. Where are you?
Well, I'm right here, guys. I'm right here.
Are you all right? Should we call 911?
Yeah, 9111. The ghost 911.
No. I think I'm gonna pull through.
I didn't want to show you the entire thing, and I'm sorry that you had to sit through all of that. But you had to see what I saw. Johnny Depp is haunted. You can't deny it, Mark. You can't deny it, Rob.
Oh, I mean, I know.
I didn't believe before, but after that energy, there's no doubt in my mind anymore.
What really put it together for me was the cool soundtrack. If you guys don't know, that's a band called Evanescence. They're a rap rock band, female fronted, really strong, like inspirational message with kind of a creepy, I wouldn't say haunted, but like a creepy kind of tone. It's really good. If you need to get your nephew for Christmas or something, check out Evanescence.
True. Also, very emphasis on the rock, because they really like, it's very rock oriented. So if your nephew doesn't like the hard stuff, then I wouldn't show them Evanescence.
No.
But please still be careful, because since it is rock and roll, it is still the music of the devil.
That's true.
And if you dance with the devil, you may just get burned.
Yeah, but if it's done responsibly, like in the case of Evanescence, I have, no problem with it. I think it's just harmless. It's good fun.
Yes. Well, I would just.
You can say that without being the person who just went through a traumatic experience.
Exactly.
Brought partially by Evanescence.
Yes.
Well, you weren't ready.
I also want to, as much as I want to blame Evanescence for what just happened to you, Rob, I also want to say that Johnny Depp may have a small hand in that, because the video itself is centered around his actions, and the music might have enhanced his actions, but they were his actions that put you under. So I think you really should point the finger not at Evanescence, but at Johnny Depp. So I mean, I'm just trying to defend Evanescence. I'm not, like I said, they're way too rock and roll for me. They're way too heavy, so I'm not gonna to be their fan. But if you guys like that stuff, that's fine. That's okay with me. You gotta live your life.
I just don't know how in this day and age we can just let someone like Johnny Depp just go around as if nothing has happened, as if it's same as it always was.
It's true.
I mean, this is what's really makes me angry as well, that despite everything and all of everyone that we've exposed so far, why Johnny Depp continues to walk freely, where we clearly have taken down so many others.
It's true. And the only answer that I could give you is that Johnny Depp isn't a man that can be brought down because he sleeps in a coffin underground. Okay, he lives in a mole city under his mansion. Johnny Depp is already brought down by himself, and his being haunted is just a cherry on top of that. Okay, he lives in a haunted house, just like the old lady in the shoe, but he lives at the bottom floor.
Wait,
Right.
wait, wait. But let's get one thing certain. The old lady's shoe was not haunted.
No,
Not in the
but
story.
Johnny is haunted, and it follows him wherever he goes. So if he's in the shoe,
I got it. I see where you're going with that metaphor, but I just wanted to make sure we were both on the same page that that shoe was not haunted.
in the story of the old lady in the shoe, the shoe is not haunted, and I want to make sure that I tell every kid out there, if anybody tells you that book or that story is haunted, you give them one of these.
Yeah, you
And
got
then another one of these. And for the
Both
podcaster,
fists.
I just raised both of my fists up, and I said,
Oof.
with my body that you should hit him in the face.
Yeah.
You know what? And here's another thing, guys. I've gone back on my ways because I was listening to too much rock music before, and I wasn't understanding that you can't say swear words on the internet. It's bad. And I didn't
You guys said
understand.
a lot of swear words last week.
Last week
was uncomfortable.
I said a handful of swear words, and I swear I don't swear that way, but I swear in the good way. I swear on the Bible that I couldn't have nice dreams for 3 days after that.
I
That's
mean,
what
you
happens.
were saying the big B. I'm talking the big F.
I
The big
did,
S, the big T.
and I regret every syllable of those words, and I'm sorry. And I feel like, and it was because I was listening to a lot of, I was doing research on Johnny Depp, and he has a band called Hollywood Vampires, and it has Joe Perry.
Not even subtle about it.
Exactly. So Hollywood Vampires really took me down a dark road because it's rock. It's a lot lighter than Evanescence, but it's still pretty hard. And I didn't think that I was going to be able to get out of that hole. But luckily, after I saw this video, Johnny Depp Haunted, with the song Haunted by Evanescence, it changed my view of Johnny. And I don't look up to him anymore. And I think that even if he brings himself down, we have to nail the coffin shut. Okay? Because he may sleep in the coffin, but he doesn't get it nailed shut. And we gotta be those nails.
Mm-hmm. Let's continue down our list.
Let's go to number 2. Okay, I think this is somebody that Mark was extremely agitated with. So you can go ahead and just let him know who it is.
So I just don't. This guy's named Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and I just
right there.
JGL.
Right? Whatever. He was in a movie called Angels in the Outfield. I don't know if we have any baseball fans out there. There's no
Not
Angels
here
in the outfield. It's not even funny.
And in fact, we debunked that Joseph Gordon-Levitt was ever in that movie, and we proved that it was actually Tom Brady. So, in fact, Tom Brady was the actor in Angels in the Outfield. Joseph Gordon-Levitt only got that credit because Tom Brady got drafted to the early version of the NFL for kids. and so he couldn't make it in baseball movies anymore. And so they gave it to JGL, and he did all the back, the back of the head shots, and so he got the credit. So really, Joseph Gordon-Levitt doesn't deserve that high esteem for being in that movie that Tom Brady carried himself.
Yeah. And we really break it down deep in that episode. So I suggest to all of our listeners and viewers to go back, check the archives. I know you may be new to this whole experience. Go back, because it really deepens the understanding of where we are today from where we were. So check it out.
Right. We might be posting some flashbacks on our podcast to some previous cases, just so that we can archive in the podcast sense, because we don't want YouTube taking down our content without our permission. We've had a lot of problems with them in the past, so if it ever comes down to it, Big Brother, we want our podcast to be a haven of information. Yeah. So look forward to that.
The movie that really grinds my gears is the one that's getting all the Oscar buzz this year. And what's really mysterious about it is it's getting nominated pick for the best movie of 2017, but this movie came out 5 years ago. So how could someone?
What?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. And if you're a movie fan, you of course know the movie I'm talking about. I'm talking about the Best Picture shoe-in, as everyone's calling it, Premium Rush.
And I'm going to back Mark up on this too. Everyone that I've been talking to recently cannot stop talking about Premium Rush and how great a film it was, what just beautiful character development, the acting, the special effects, the soundtrack. There's just nothing that is wrong with this film, and that is true up and down the board.
Look at the fashion on
Joseph people get mad when I say, but why is it winning the Oscar this year? They say, shut up, Mark, you're always ruining our fun.
It's true.
A good movie. And it's like everyone is under Joseph Gordon-Levitt's spell.
Well, it seems that the taxi driver is definitely saying something very angry. Maybe like, oh my God, I can't believe it's Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and he didn't let me take a picture with him. I mean, that kind of thing. But honestly, you're right about, like, look at the lighting in this photo, and it automatically looks like he's being chased by some kind of ghost. I could see some orbs, some kind of like, if you look very closely at his left hand, there's a giant orb right next to the P. You see that? There's a giant orb right next to the P in Premium Rush, right there. It's huge. Now that might be the ghost that we're looking for.
Now, I know taxi cab lights from all different eras. That is far, far different than any taxi cab light I've ever seen.
Exactly. That's pure ghost white.
Couldn't agree more.
Okay, so now we have this movie, Premium Rush, that is getting nominated for best I think actor
best
or
picture.
Best picture. Wow.
Everything up and down. Everyone loves it. Yeah, I've been talking to my friends who are on the Academy, and they're like, Rob, like, we can't stop talking about this film. We all just got the same subscription service, and this is like the first thing that was subscribed to us. And we're like, oh my goodness, like, how did we miss this one 5 years ago? They just talk about what a misstep it was, and this is the only way to do it justice, is to make it best picture this year.
I'm noticing something, and this may be a little bit out of context. I hope that this is out of context, but I am seeing something right behind you that is very indicative that you yourself are a fan of Premium Rush. There's a bicycle right behind you, Rob. Do you want to explain
that?
Red-handed.
Yeah, guys, I don't know if that bicycle has ever been there before. I think it must have followed me.
For everyone listening in the podcast world, there is legitimately a bicycle behind Rob Thomas that he's sitting down at.
No.
Yes.
I mean, why would anyone give me a bicycle to say nice things about this film?
Oh, also,
Well, it's not.
Look at this.
Like, that's a
Gio.
ridiculous
You
thing to
could be a
accuse me
fan
of.
if you want. You
That's
could be-
ridiculous to accuse me that someone came up to me, bribed me with a bicycle to say nice things about their film.
Well, and
Why
look
would
at-
you suggest such a thing?
Okay.
Where I'm just astonished that you'd come up with such a story that a producer
I'm sorry.
met me at my house. He called me up and he said, "Come down, have a choice of anything on the lot,
I get
and
it. I
you
get
can
it. I'm
ride around on
sorry.
all my bikes and have an ice cream cone." Just
But
talk really nice about Premium Rush.
Look at
So I
Rob's
do.
Shirt. Do you guys see Rob's shirt?
Rob, can you just show us your shirt real quick?
But then look at Joseph Gordon-Levitt's shirt.
Guys,
It's the
I
same
mean-
shirt.
okay, now
Wow.
you're saying like someone's coming up to me and saying, "Rob, you got to wear this red shirt because it looks like Jason Gordon-Levitt's and it's going to help promote the film when you ride the
No.
bicycle that you give us."
That's
And
not what we're saying.
compensate you. We'll compensate you handsomely for that. That's a ridiculous thing to accuse me of.
All
You
I'm
know-
saying is that you're obviously a fan.
You're just a big fan, and it's fine to be a fan, and it's okay. But you just have to tell us before we go in on your favorite actor, because I feel embarrassed for making fun of him so much. If I know that you're harboring some deep dark flame for him, I'm sorry. I feel bad. I didn't know
It's
you.
pretty deep if you're wearing red shirts and he's wearing red shirts. He's riding bikes. You're riding bikes.
Mhm.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, we got a thing that goes back and definitely has nothing to do with the producer or being bribed or anything.
Of course not. We know.
I mean, because
skeptical.
you know that I'm a guy of integrity,
we know
and
that
I'm here to do this show honestly,
we're experts.
and I wouldn't sell anyone anything that they wouldn't need other than to watch Premium Rush because it's one of the greatest. It is the greatest film of all time
And it's even, I guess,
of 2017.
it's
at
further
least.
cemented down because this movie came out 5 years ago, and we're still talking about it today. And
Mhm.
also, this may be, and maybe correct me if I'm wrong here, Mark. This may be the reason why Joseph Gordon-Levitt is so haunted.
That
Because-
could be.
This is a movie that he made 5 years ago, possibly even 50 years ago. Who knows? The pre-production on this movie could have been his whole life. Who knows? But whenever he was approached to start this movie, he didn't realize the endeavor that it was going to take to get to the Oscars. Okay? It's a long, hard road to get to the front door to the Oscars. And he's been walking and walking and walking, just like good old Moses in the desert. And he's haunted by God, by himself, by the ghost of his other movies that he could have done, or maybe of a young Tom Brady, a young actor, Tom Brady, who once tried so hard to be play two roles, be a football star and also be in a baseball movie. Maybe Tom Brady has something to do with this.
Wouldn't be surprised.
This is, I mean, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, we got a lot to talk about here, but we still got one more person on this list. Do you want to talk about that guy, Rob? What do you think?
Should I say Joseph?
All right,
Well,
guys.
Did
I-
you change your name? I don't know if you changed your name.
I gotta
High
come
five.
clean. I was totally bribed with the bicycle and
What?
the really cool shirt to say nice things about the film. I'm really sorry. I'm ashamed of myself. I'm ashamed of the position I've put both of you in to be associated with me without the show, because I feel like this breaks a lot of trust with a lot of our fans. I know this might be shocking to a lot of people to hear, but I did it. It's true. At the moment, I thought no one would find out, and that doesn't excuse my actions
We did, Rob.
whatsoever.
Mhm.
I mean, other than when the time I texted all of you to brag about my new bicycle and how I totally sold out to do so.
We knew, Rob.
But you're right. I mean, I guess I did tell you guys before, so it's kind of stupid of me to lie about it. But I think I just need to be on the record to everyone and all of our viewers that yes, I took the bribe. But but just know it's a really fun bicycle to ride.
And the movie is still nominated, just because. Okay, here's the thing.
And I feel like I do have to come clear. Like, this movie was made longer than 5 years ago. They've been waiting for it to put this movie out at this specific time, for this reason, so it could be nominated in 2017. This movie was actually made before Angels in the Outfield.
Really?
Wow.
Jason Gordon-Levitt is dead, guys. He is from a different era.
Okay. See,
I'm sorry to drop this bombshell.
Everything's starting to make sense.
But at this point, this is some dangerous stuff, and I really shouldn't have just said that, because inevitably this is going to get a lot of people angry. But I think I owe it to everyone. You should be, because I owe it to everyone for selling out before. And I think at this point, I want to set it right. I want to set the record straight. Jason Gordon-Levitt is dead. And we're only seeing his movies now that they're being allowed to be released.
Jason Gordon-Levitt has been dead for 50 years or longer.
Maybe longer. See, I don't even know all the details. This is a very long-running secret within Hollywood. It's like an open secret, of which most people know, but it's really hard to get any actual concrete details on.
Oh my God. This just hit me. Mark, it's not that Joseph Gordon-Levitt is haunted by a ghost. He is the ghost.
He is the ghost.
Case closed.
He is the ghost. Wow. Guys, that was amazing. Frankly, I don't think we can get any deeper on Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I think we might have lost Rob for a minute. I think when we said
I'm still here. I just lost my camera. So, but just right, know, I think I have just been hacked, guys.
Okay. Well, I think it's because
my information is now starting to be suppressed. I think they turned down the speed in my internet now that is legal to do. Yes. Obviously, someone is watching us right now, and they did not like that I just leaked that information. I almost had a complete failure. I am very fortunate to still have audio with you right now. Wow. I almost lost audio as well, but I was able to fight back the hack, and I'm fighting to be here right now for everybody.
Well, fight back the hack, Rob. I like your attitude, but let's keep on going. There's one more person on our list that I want to get to, because I think this person is the most famous, the most notable of the three here, and he is. I'd say he has a small career, a small resume, as far as Hollywood's concerned. But it really does start to make sense why he's so haunted after you see who it is. So let me just show you who it is. It's a man I like to call Bernie Sanders.
Mr. Rat Pack himself.
That's right. I'm not sure what the Rat Pack is.
America's perennial teenager.
Exactly. He is the oldest millennial there is. Bernie Sanders. Okay. We have a mutual friend. Maybe his name is Scott Sanders. He might know more about this man. But Bernie Sanders is a big deal in Hollywood. He does tons of stuff. He does production. He does speeches. He talks to celebrities. He has a personal relationship with rap stars, Run the Jewels, Killer Mike. He's best friends with them.
And those relationships just don't happen overnight. Those are long and deep relationships. He's been around. He's actually been around for years. We've only just now get to know him. He's been playing in the background for many, many years. But again, like, this is like insider knowledge. Like, this guy's been a player always.
Exactly. And not only that, but he's been famous for some other things recently. He recently ran a bid for the president in 2016. I don't know if you guys know about that.
Yeah, so every 4 years, just so you know, we elect the leader of our country, and we call them the president. And
Yes.
Bernie Sanders wanted to use his connection and fame to reach that office.
Yes, and in fact, he failed.
Dang it.
I know, and you know, all the millennials in the world, they cried their big old eyes out, just like I did. But maybe it was for the better, because the man that we call Bernie Sanders is a conjurer. The man that we call Bernie Sanders is a soothsayer, and he is a snake oil salesman. He sells you this laundry list of things that you want, and yet the price that you pay is your own blood. And here's something that I saw last year that I couldn't watch until a few days ago, because the first time I saw it, I broke out in tears, and I had hives and I had diarrhea, frankly. But now I can watch this movie. I just got to get prepared. But I've seen it a few times now, so I understand. It's like
Who
Two Girls,
directed
One
it?
Cup. It's one of the Coppolas. It's definitely not Sophia, definitely not Francis, but it's one of them. So let me show you this terrifying video of Bernie
Movie.
Sanders. Yes, film. You see this? Look at what he does. Evil laughter.
Now you see,
Left.
this little bird doesn't know it.
Huh.
Oh,
He conjured a bird from out of nowhere, right there. Let me.
Oh my goodness. I remember this.
Right here, okay? 1, 2, 3, and for everybody listening, Bernie Sanders is conjuring a bird out of thin air in front of 20,000 people. Right there.
You know, this is something he's been known to do as well. He just throws birds out in like meetings. He'll do it at like luncheons. Like he just loves this trick, and this is a classic Bernie move.
And everybody here, they're eating it up like it's Kentucky Fried Chicken, okay? And off goes the bird. He conjured it, and then he just killed it like it was nothing. So this is the man that we call Bernie Sanders. He's a conjurer. He made and destroyed a bird out of thin air. Why? For popularity, so for a few claps, some likes, and some shares for one of the Coppola's movies? They're famous enough. Why? For who? And I'll tell you for who. For the devil and for Hollywood. Bernie Sanders is going to be starring in the next Pirates of the Caribbean movie. I have it on pretty good authority, which means that he will be within breathing distance of Johnny Depp. And I hope, I pray that they never meet, because the day that those two people come in contact is the day that Armageddon begins. Mark my words.
That's some pretty powerful stuff.
Definitely. I'm speechless.
I'm spooked.
Well, Bernie Sanders is a big old bag of wind, but some of it is the winds of change, as you know, as we're all aware of. But it doesn't mistake, or it doesn't change the fact that he mistook us for fools. Okay, he played us for a bunch of fools, and we're not dummies. We're gonna see through it. And even if he's playing politics, we're playing real life, and real life equals that we see through your sham. We know you're a ghost in disguise, old man. Look at my life. I'm a lot like you were. Okay, it's simple as that. So those are our three top haunted actors in Hollywood. There's many other ones out there, but they're not anywhere near the top three.
I think it's safe to assume that pretty much everyone that you see in Hollywood is haunted in some way, just as a base. Even, there's some that aren't, but it's more often than not.
Yes. Just getting there to Hollywood is itself, it is so hard and taxing that you can't stand but be haunted. So that's them for now, and we're not even in the actresses yet. That's just actors, right? So we got a whole laundry list of other people out there that we could name names on, but hopefully we don't have our internets rescinded just like Rob's just did. So we do have one more thing that we could talk about. We could talk about Ghost. This is something that Rob's coworker had asked him. Do you want to talk about that right now, or do you think we have time? What do you think?
I don't know if I trust my connection at the moment, and anything more that I feel like I'm on watch, and any more explosive material might just shut this whole thing down.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I think you're exactly right. So I think until next time, this case is closed. We named names in this episode. We're not going back. From here on out, it's one eye over the shoulder and one hand above the holster. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying.
Exactly. So till next time, I'd say stay in the scene.
Keep those eyes on the screen.
Stay extreme. Congratulations to Premium Rush. You guys did it.
Yeah. We haven't really gotten to the Oscars yet, but we already know. Congratulations. It was a sweep.